This is Neville Miller on the latest conditions, Neville.
And Bria, there are some big thunderstorms out there. Thankfully, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings right now. Here's how things are shaping up. So if you live in the metro and you look up to the north, there's a lot of lightning as you go just north of town. So near Leavenworth, actually not too far. Let me go back one more time here. Not too far from the airport, actually. So near Leavenworth, closer to St. Joseph, you've got a stronger thunderstorm. It's not severe right now. There's Storm Tracker 9. That is to the east of St. Joseph along 36 Highway. So we're going to get in touch with Nick here in just a moment. But I do want to zoom in a little bit closer here so you can see the strongest of the storms that are in the area right now. And that's going to be just north of Leavenworth, just north of the airport, close to Platte City, Edgerton, Plattsburgh. Plenty of lightning strikes for you. In fact, a little bit more than 650 lightning strikes. Then farther towards the west, we have another area that's got a stronger thunderstorm with it, which is going to be west of Valley Falls. So we're on the Kansas side now, looking toward Rock Creek. This is north and west of Lawrence. We are keeping an eye on that thunderstorm. The greatest threat will continue to be mainly north of the metro. There's 10 p.m. and then continuing on towards about midnight, those storms start to fizzle out. And this is all part of round one. There's another round of storms that could develop here overnight. Brian, I know you're going to talk about that. So this round moves out, but then we have to talk about the cold front rolling in.
I'm hoping that that second batch won't be as difficult to deal with. And thus far, as you mentioned, there aren't that many warnings that are out there, whether it be tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. So let me pick it up where Neville left off. This is First Alert Future Scan. As we talk about it, here you see after midnight or so, the line kind of fizzles up a little bit. Here's the secondary line. This is actually the cold front close to midnight. And you still see some pockets of heavier downpours. The threat of severe weather goes down a little bit, but again, I want to make sure you know how to get those warnings just in case. Here is the current tornado watch. Now, some counties have been shaved, some other counties have been added. Northern portions of Platte County, which is where that cell that Neville's just showing you, also portions of Clay County. You go south of the river, not much is going on there. We don't anticipate that. The watch stays in effect until midnight tonight. So how about round two? Timing, overnight, probably 2 to 5 in the morning for the ETA, estimated time of arrival for Kansas City. Location will be closer to the KC Metro by that time, but that's why we have this alert day. And we're going to continue to look for the threats of gusty winds up to 50 or 60 miles an hour in the stronger cells. Not everybody's going to see that. Not everybody's going to even get a drop of rain later on tonight, and possibly quarter-size hail as well, accompanying some of those larger sails. Well, Nick Bender has been on it, and I was looking at his feed. He's been in and out of the heavy rain and even the hail. Nick, what's happening?
Brian, hail is a big story with this storm that is now approaching Cameron. Now it's lost a lot of its oomph since we started tracking it just north of Topeka, where it was producing tennis ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So you're looking west, that's 36 Highway here in Cameron. Looking to the west as this storm as it is approaching Cameron. Right now it's your garden type variety thunderstorm, lightning, rain, gusty winds, some small hail. It's really lost a lot of its punch as it's traveled from eastern Kansas into northwestern Missouri. The wind profile is still showing enough shear in the atmosphere perhaps to keep this storm, in the strong levels, maybe marginally severe, but overall there's just been too many parameters in place this afternoon, this evening, that have prevented these storms, thankfully, from realizing their full potential and being prolific hail producers and wind producers and capably producing tornadoes. Still want you to remain alert though over the next few hours this evening, as long as those winds still remain quite strong, adding enough shear to these storms to perhaps produce some strong updrafts, which would support a hail and a wind threat as these storms are laid out back to the west towards Topeka and then Junction City and back into central Kansas. As the cold front pushes through overnight, it's going to give it the push down closer to Kansas City, and we'll have some additional thunderstorms throughout the rest of the night. But for now, no risk of severe thunderstorms here in Cameron with this particular storm that you're on. Bria, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you. And be sure now to check your alerts and turn them on inside your KMBC 9 News app. We'll send you alerts if severe weather gets close to your home. Just search KMBC for that free download tonight.